Good evening, good night, good morning, wherever you are. Welcome back to the channel. So as the video title says, I wanted to find out what can be done to reduce the knife crime and violence in the UK. Statistics that I found from the BBC, which were sourced from the Home Office, showed that within a 12-month period, ending in March 2018, there was over 40,000 knife-related offences in England and Wales. This is a 16% increase on the previous year and the highest number of offences since 2011. So it's clear to see that this is a widespread problem that needs to be tackled. In this video, you'll hear the public opinion on what needs to be done to reduce the knife crime and violence. I would also like to hear your opinion on the subject. Make sure you leave a comment down below. Let's talk about this. Let's engage in a conversation about this. And peace, one love. Let's get into the video.
What can be done to reduce the knife crime and the violence in the UK? What do you think would be an instant beneficial factor if it was introduced? What needs to be done?
Well, basically, most of it is the government obviously cutting out things and that for the youths and that, yeah. There's nothing for them to do. But still, I always say, because the youths then blame it on where they live and the area codes, what they come from. I know people what's in ghetto and that, and they work hard. But what's going to happen is, the oldest are going to start telling the youths of them it's not a good thing to do and try and put them on the right path and speak conscious to them, you get me? Other thing is the government's going to start opening it back up community centres and youth schemes and giving something to them to do, because what you're hearing is that the youths are bored, you get me, because there's nothing for them to do. Well, like, I'm 42 now. I remember when I was younger, you had you come from school, you had community centres, you have youth teams, and you can go and play football, play your little pence. There's nothing for them to do. So when man said not going park no more, and the only thing is on road, and the government start opening nothing for them to do, what they're going to do, they're going to turn to crime, they're going to join a gang, because they're saying that's their family, because they're bored, they form a group, then it's a gang. Now, I'm not going to say a gang's bad, because obviously back in the days a gang was formed where you look after each other, you get me? But what's happening now is that mans are forming gangs and they want to take over that area and this area, and then obviously because that corner's doing drugs and another gang is doing drugs in that corner, people want to fight over it, and it's foolishness, because really what they're fighting over postcode. The government owns the postcode, bruv. This is what I don't understand. The youths are fighting over a postcode what's never theirs.
Create more things for the youth,
Such as?
youth schemes, football, activities, trips. You know, the government can help that as well.
Yeah. So do you feel the government isn't doing enough in respect to what you've just mentioned?
No, because they're taking some of it away.
Okay. So let's say in the ideal world, these things were brought back into society more frequently. Do you believe the crime rate would then reduce?
Of course it would, because it'll give kids more of a chance to be doing stuff other than being on the road.
I think there has to be more opportunities. So like, the roads aren't an option. I think they need to make sure that like drug dealing is an option. If they have other options in life, because I feel like maybe this is naivety or ignorance.
No, say what you gotta say, bro.
I feel like a lot of people, they go into that because they don't know that, or they feel like they can't get into anything else. Like they feel like they can't do a 9 to 5 because they feel like maybe their qualifications or maybe school wasn't for them or whatever. But yeah, it has to be more opportunities.
So like youth centres about.
Yeah.
Give the youth more things to do in it, like more things to do in their spare time and that.
So do you think that councils cutting back on funding, which led to cutting down on youth centres, has resulted in more youth being on the streets rather than being in youth centres, leading to violence?
Yeah, because they've got nothing to do other than just chill on the block or something. Just that.
More police on the streets, I'd say, personally. That's my main opinion on it. I can't think of anything else. Because they're cutting them all the time, aren't they? Yeah.
And what do you think the police need to do?
Just be more active in the areas where it occurs.
So would you say there's no harmony, no love between one another amongst the younger generation or amongst society in general?
Nah, you know what it is? They think they're bad, innit? Like they say, if you step on my toes, innit, I'ma have to do something about it. That's not how it works, innit?
Okay. Where do you think that type of mentality came from?
I don't know, you know, everybody's trying to be like Tupac or something. I don't know, it's something like that, like, yo, not everybody's a gangster, not everybody's bad. You just have to relax, calm down, know your behavior.
I'd say you need more police around in the dark times. You know, when it gets dark.
They don't do nothing, man.
They don't do nothing. But like, if they're there, no one's gonna do it in front of them, are they? You get me? Like in more like popular areas and like deserted areas, stuff like that, and more cameras, like in alleyways, stuff like that.
They need more metal detectors.
Say that again?
Need more metal detectors.
In what areas? In what areas?
Schools and stuff like that. Because they're very lenient in schools.
Nothing.
Nothing can be done.
Honestly, nothing. How the youth is nowadays and how man are. It's all about stripes, rep. Like you want to show this geezer there. It's all about respect. It's just long. I don't think it's ever gonna stop. Honestly.
You don't think there's no solution?
Not unless you take away every single knife in the UK and just
Okay.
leave people to eat with a fork.
So you've touched on something very important there. So do you think a lot of the catalyst is the tool that's being used, such as the knife? Are knives too easily accessible for people of any age these days?
Now they are because okay, it's like if you go to a pub lunch, yeah. I know man have took them steak knives, you know. You just like you go pick up the plate, but there's one fork, no knife, you're thinking shit, and you don't want to report it because it's long. So it's just it is what it is, isn't it?
Youth centers and that, and put PS4 and Xbox and that. So that obviously people like young people like you get me, like they can go there instead of like being on the street and that.
That's a valid point. And yourself?
The same thing. Youth centers. More youth centers is taking the kids off the streets, letting them enjoy each other's company instead of fighting all the time.
Stop drill music.
Okay. Why stop drill music? What makes you say that?
That influences the youth because that's all they talk about in the tunes, like stab man this, stab man that, and it makes the youth think it's positive and it's not. So, yeah.
So if the music was to be stopped, then what would happen? What's next after that? Would we see a dramatic decrease in violence, or what do you think would happen?
It'd be dramatic, yeah, but it kind of go down because that's a big influence in it. Like, you'd still need, I reckon you need, like, what could I say? I don't know. You're just gonna need feds around the areas keeping it safe because, like, too many youths walking around with knives nowadays. So, yeah.
As you mentioned, drug dealing and things like that. Are they over glorified? Are they too publicized?
Like in the media and that?
Yeah.
Like music.
Do you think these things are too publicized, or are people choosing to view them?
No, I feel like it's just a reality. Like, you can't tell people to not write about the stuff they know. If this is what they're growing up in, then that's them. What else are they meant to make songs about? They can't make songs about, I don't know, like mansions and that, because they didn't grow up with that. They grew up with their friends getting stabbed, so they're gonna talk about their friends getting stabbed. It only makes sense.
Put on more opportunities for the kids and that, you get me? Just like, everyone needs to start the beefing and just settle down and that, like put on more activities and all that, make people fun and that, you get me? That's all still.
Okay, and yourself?
Same, what he said.
Youth clubs and that, and like, see how like there's centers and that, like, give more to like, you see these naughty kids, give more to them and they'll appreciate it. And when they appreciate it, they'll see what they got in it.
Is it an individual responsibility, or is society to blame for what the individual has become?
Oh,
Let's
obviously.
say you go stab a man. Are you to blame, or are the society or the factors of society to blame
Oh, of
for
course.
what you are?
Yeah,
Product of
yeah,
environment,
yeah,
or your own actions, basically.
Of course, yeah, I'm to blame because I've gone out there, picked up something and used it.
I honestly think it's a class issue. So I think if you've got less money, you are more likely to do things like that, like it's like drug dealing, anything like that, because that's sort of the only opportunity you get for things. And if you've had nothing, then and you think a bit of knife crime might bring you something, you're gonna do that.
It all depends on the youths, and you just need to get them in some seminars to show them that they shouldn't be easily influenced by other people. You get me?
Understand this side. So basically what you're trying to say is,
Like different
should there be more education and awareness about the problem?
Yeah, and also your parents need to teach you that you shouldn't be easily influenced enough to take talk from other people, you get me? Yeah, so that's just it.
What can be done to reduce the knife crime and violence in the UK?
So everybody start acting like pricks, innit? And just get along, get a job, you know what I'm saying? Do your thing and hustle and respect everybody, innit? That's all you can say.
So are you trying to say that values are lost amongst people of today's society? People have lost their values, such as respect, as you mentioned.
Yeah, respect is one thing. People disrespecting their moms, their dads nowadays don't care and all that stuff. But then people blame it on the music, but it's not the music. It's just if you have respect and you've been grew up in that type of environment where everybody's all peaceful, everyone will get along. But nowadays, these kids are all about drill and what, trying to stab up man for no reason. You know what I'm saying? It's stupid. They need jobs. You need to get yourself a job, stay in a job, and just think about, have a girl or have something that motivates you to save money, have kids, you know what I'm saying? Do something for them, motivate them to be better and live better, you get me?
Only sell plastic knives.
Okay. And how do you feel that would help improve the problem?
It wouldn't help improve the problem.
Well, how many people do you see in hospital getting stabbed by a plastic knife?
Yeah, but you could still stab someone with a plastic knife.
So, would it be fair to assume that dangerous knives are too easily accessible?
No, because you can get any knife. You can go to a kitchen shop and get a knife.
What age? At what age?
18.
Because I've seen things online where they've run experiments and children have been able to buy Rambo knives, and the person delivering the knife didn't even collect a signature. So
I mean, it's like when you get, like, I've got a phone delivered and they say they expect you to give you ID at the door, but no one from Royal Mail or Yodel is going to be like, you got your ID on you. No, they don't know what's in your parcel. It could be anything.
Like now, obviously with Joe being big, yeah, like a lot of youths are getting gassed over it, but it's been happening for a time. But like, I feel like, because obviously it's getting more attention now, like they're being, like, the youths are being proud about it. Like before, like it was just like they were doing a thing and no one was really putting on socials. Obviously back then there weren't really socials and that, but socials are a big thing now, isn't it?
let me ask the next question. Those artists around the country that are glorifying murders and their crimes within their lyrics, has that had another major impact, or is that just minor lyrics that people shouldn't really pay attention to? Is that something serious in itself?
Something serious in itself, but I don't think as a youth you should be paying attention to that. Yeah.
So you're saying people should have their own self-strength to ignore things that are being put onto them?
Yeah.
Let's put it this way. Do you believe the parents of this generation that are growing up, have they failed as parents?
I wouldn't say failed, but because of the youth going up, they've got Snapchat and things like that now, yeah. No parents are really going to check like, what their child's doing on social media and stuff. So I wouldn't really say failed.
Okay, so you're saying parents are less strict these days, in a sense. If they're not checking their children's social media.
More lenient, yeah.
You know, like the access to knives in shops, that should be like harder. You probably should have ID. And like some people probably take it from their kitchen drawer. I would say like, I don't know about like taking it from your kitchen drawer, but like parents just need to watch it more in the kitchen. They need to watch it more, like what they're going out with and stuff like that.
So would you then say parents themselves need to show more awareness to what their kids are doing?
Yeah. Because I'd say like nowadays parents, like they're less strict. Like they just let you be free and go out because they think, oh, you're older. But I feel like they still need to check you.
Build more sports places, you know, places where we can like go play football and that. You know what I mean? Like keep people off the streets and that.
It can be, you know, the home situation where you go out. I mean, that can't be helped. But I mean, what can be helped is having some kind of support system outside of your house. You know, having somewhere to go, I mean, after school or whatever. Instead of just, you know, I mean, because you just hang around or whatever. Even that's one good thing that could happen. Because for everyone there's a different route for everyone, so it's hard to just kind of be like, oh, this is a blanket thing that we can just do to help. But that's one thing I think could help.
So how old are you, my friend, if a man asks you? Okay, so amongst your peers, if any of them, God forbid, were to be involved in gang violence, with you at your age knowing what you know, what do you think would need to change to stop people your age doing what they do?
I think, to be honest, it's peer pressure.
Okay, now we're touching on something. Okay, explain more. What do you mean by peer pressure? What's happening amongst the youth?
As in, like, people are getting pressured, like, to join gangs and stuff like that. You know, like...
Are they being pressured by elders, people their same age, people younger than them? What do you think is mostly happening?
I wouldn't know. Like, I don't involve myself in them kind of... I try and, like, keep out of trouble and stuff, so I wouldn't know, to be honest with you.
Yeah? Okay. So would you say the focus is wrong then, in a sense? Their end goal or their short-term goal, for example, is kind of wrong, or the vision is not there in a sense.
But you see,
is it misguidance? Is what I'm trying to say.
Misguidance a little bit, but I can't knock the next man because I don't know what they've been through. You get me? I don't know what they're hustling for. I don't know if they need to, but I can't knock him. You know, so I can't judge someone that I don't know what they've been through. Okay. So maybe a little bit of misguidance on their part, but they just need to show more peace nowadays, man, because the world's messed up as it is already, man. You get me? You got one life to live, might as well live it to the max, innit?
I would agree with that. Is being on road the easiest alternative?
It's not always the easiest alternative, but because there's nothing to do, you just get dragged in and it's too late.
So what because peer pressure has a big part to play in this. What will your message be to those young members of society who are maybe suffering from peer pressure, either being invited into gangs or being encouraged to commit these crimes? What would be your message to them?
Stick to your dreams. Chase your dreams. That's it.
Okay. And for those,
Eventually, it'll work.
okay. And those who are going through life at the minute without a clear goal or a clear dream, an end goal, what would your message be for those type of people?
Find your end goal. Whatever's your spark or that has been your spark at some point, use that.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you, man.
That's man. I like what you're doing there.